tika hoki, te mihi ki te taonga nei. Nau mai, hara mai, nau mai, whakatau mai, I runga te whenua nei, o hauraki. If any of you have been through the treaty negotiations process, you'll know what a soul-destroying process that it is. The land here had been tupuna land, our ancestral land, where our ancestors lived, the mahinga kai, it was seasonal food gathering area. I think for me, my uncle, Waimanuka Merimana, he and his brother were in the 28 Battalion. His brother was killed in Crete, and he returned and he saw everybody getting their repat allocations of lands, and he applied for one. And they suggested to him a carpentry training course. Finished that, came back and says, when will I get my piece of land to farm? And they said, oh no, you've had your lot. You got the carpentry training.
In 2013, we bought it. We paid $53 million for it, 2,200 hectares. As what he said, it was our chance to get a big chunk of our whenua back, but it stuck in our guts that we had to pay for our own land, which was lost. The Public Works Act, so-called sort of dubious sales, and particularly for here, the operation of the Hauraki Plains Drainage Act in 1908, which took large swathes of Māori land for so-called drainage purposes, and so those are the kind of the mechanisms by which we lost it. We entered into a 50-50 share milking arrangement with Landcorp for 5 years. It became fully operational under our full control and care and attention in May 2019. We started right from the day one when we took over this farm to start planting it out. We plant out something like 7,500 plants a year. That's native plants. So we're looking to restore some of the landscape and some of the biology that was here, that was once here, and has been, stripped, and a lot of it's not there today.
This farm was reconfigured from 4 farms back in 2017, and this cowshed was built then. Some of the challenges we have with our infrastructure on our peat soils, 600 plus piles at 13 metres deep in the foundations of this cowshed, so quite a bit of work.
So we've entered Pouarua Farm A, which is a 215 hectare unit, milking 600 cows through a 54 bale rotary. We're effectively on a peat swamp. It's not the kindest soil to farm, very free draining, and our climatic pressures where we're prone to very wet winters and very dry summers. So we've looked to utilise Italian pastures, short rotation pastures, so we get that good bulk early feed in the months where we know we can grow grass.
The environmental footprint and the way in which we go about managing this land, or whenua, is extremely important. And behind me you can see things around effluent disposal. We've built 9 clip tanks. These are above ground because of the nature of the peat, and store our effluent then for irrigating across the pastures. That's a $3 million cost alone. New cow sheds, like you can see behind me, which mean cows walk less distances. We've reduced our nitrogen usage considerably, yet we've increased our production, lowered our cow numbers, reduced our farm working expenses, become much more profitable, and we're doing all of that out of cash flow, as is a requirement of the shareholder not to mortgage the land.
The highlights at Pouarua Farm for us have been around the journey that they've been through in terms of getting the land back, how they've organised themselves since then, and the capabilities that they've surrounded themselves with at board and management level, and the work they're doing with the team in terms of growing them, growing capabilities, growing that culture, and connecting everyone through, set themselves up for the future.